back from uni and I thought I'd crack out my old box of Lego to see what I have. Just try to remember where I got all these things from. Check them out. I've started making sort of a little collection of some old figures. This is like Marvel and DC and Ninjago at the back. Look at this guy. There's dust all over my hand from this stuff. That is not official Lego. Who is that? That is not, I mean, that's sick, but I don't know. There's some questionable ones in here. You got some of these things that are like kind of Halo. I remember loving these as a kid. I can't remember what they're called, but they did Halo and they did Call of Duty. And they were so cool, man. I remember just spending hours playing with these guys because they're so articulated. You know, you can do so much with them. Not this one. This is rubbish. I mean, they look cool, but you can't really move them. You also notice, you see like this, the kind of whiter looking patches, you see it in there, it's whiter, bit around there. That's not design. That's because I would take these guys in the bath, because I used to have this Lego ship. And I'd take these guys in the bath with me, for whatever reason, when I was real young, and you know, play with them. Call of Duty. Still in the same pose. Must have put them in ages ago. But these guys, yeah, they're not Lego. They can be cast aside. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put these into subsections. What they are. Obviously, like, you know, that's Lego City. That's a police officer, right? Some other non-Lego in here is like these Doctor Who figures that I got. I remember getting like a Velcro openable TARDIS thing. And it came with all the different Doctors. And there was a couple other things that had Sidemen, and you get them pretty cheap, cheaper than Lego with the amount of figures they came with. And I thought those were real cool as well. And I did end up getting the officially licensed Doctor Who Lego that they did, which is pretty cool. This set was sick, the Toy Story one. We got the soldiers. This is the only surviving one. They got a lot of play. God, look at that. They got a lot of playtime happening with them. Many of them didn't survive the war, unfortunately, I don't think. A lot similar with the clones. You know, this is a common theme with my favourite ones. I felt the need to destroy them for some reason. There's a couple clones down to my left. And I look at some of them, and I remember at the time making these custom clone minifigures and thinking, oh yeah, that's sick. That's so sick. I look back at them. What the hell were some of these? Like, look at this. What is that meant to be? What was I thinking? That's like a 501st helmet, you know, and I really like that, the 501st figures. What is that? It's burned like a marshmallow. There's like paint on the back, and I tried to etch in whatever the hell that is. Like, what could I possibly be there? Oh yeah, that's sick. Yeah, that looks sick. Who is that? That's rubbish. This is my attempt at a custom Commander Gregor when I was real young. I'm not even going to talk about that. I mean, I've ruined a Phase 1 clone helmet for that. That's unforgivable. Like, just what's the point? I mean, that's not even like it. This is just... That's like a rubbish helmet anyway. I swear these guys don't do anything. They're just like staff. I paint it red, it looks sick. What is that? Nonsense. See, this is why I thought I'd film this, because there's so much interesting stuff in here that it doesn't make any sense, you know. Let me move this into shot so you can see what I'm talking about. If I dip my hand in, yeah, I'll find something like this, right? This is Wayne Rooney's head. Why is that in there? And why is it like an off-brand Lego? Why was I buying Wayne Rooney? What do you want to do? Do you want to get Star Wars? You know, do you want to get Minecraft Lego? No, I want Wayne Rooney. Who else am I looking at here? Japanese Imperial Soldier, you know, fake Lego, of course. Now these ones, the soldiers, the World War II soldiers, you see, I actually bought, you know, but there was one time where I bought, well, I was meant to receive an army of these guys, like I think 12 of them. I bought it on eBay, and I'll see if I can find what they sent me instead. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was these these kind of ugly, but yeah, here we go. You seeing that? They sent me Lego Taliban. This is like Lego ISIS. This is crazy. Like, look at that. I didn't ask for that. That's not why I ordered off. I remember them sending it to me. I had to message him. You know, hi there. I was meant to receive these, like, you know, this looks like British soldiers Africa campaign, and you've sent me ISIS. Lego ISIS. Unbelievable. And he was like, yeah, sorry, we ran out of the original thing you wanted, so we sent you that instead. What? Lego ISIS. There's more of them as well. No, that's not the only one. I remember receiving them just thinking, what do I do with this? Let me try and find another one. There's a crazy one in here. If we can find it. I think it's this guy. Is it? No. Come on, that's pretty bad in itself. I also got a set once, and it was meant to be just like a... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy as well. I don't know why he's wearing a US Army. What did I say? But this is like AI text. What is that? Okay. Yeah, I got a set once just for weapons, and it came with a bunch of Nazis as well. So not only do I have the Lego Taliban, but also have Lego Nazis. You know, just a great group of figures, I suppose. We'll try and find something interesting here. This was from a blind bag. This is probably the only time I've ever got something cool from a blind bag. Like, I remember 90% of the time, I'd get just the most awful, boring thing. Like, I think the last time I ever got one, when I was probably 14 or 13, something, I got an old lady with a cat. And like the other stuff in there was like a knight, like a riot, police officer, footballer, all this cool stuff. No, that's not it. Her torso's in here somewhere, I'm sure of it. This might be it. Yeah, that's it, look. That's just like the most boring design on a figure. What is that? Rocket Raccoon, he needs to go into the Marvel collection. I left a space for him because I knew I'd forgotten. Oh my god. Cole's just died. I knew I'd forgotten something. So I left a space for him next to the head of Groot, so I can't find his body. Figured that's just like, you know, when he like sort of dies but doesn't die. You know, I've just got that going on. He's next to Yondu. And a real Miles Morales and a fake Miles Morales. I think that's fake. I don't know where I would have got that from otherwise, but that one's sick. Look at that. The Batmans, yeah, pretty cool. I'm disappointed that I don't have any Christian Bale Batmans, because I think that's Ben Affleck. I know that's Ben Affleck because that's from Batman v Superman. That's from the movie, and that's just like the generic Lego Batman. I can't find this one's cowl, and also I don't have the head for this either of them, other Ben Affleck Batmans. I was like, I'll just have him holding it, but then I realised that he doesn't have a hand, and the other one doesn't have any arms, so yeah, that'd be a bit difficult. This Adam West Batman's obviously fake, but I thought it was really funny, so I remember picking it up from a like random shop in Southampton. Other than that, like, I don't know, there's some rubbish figures in here, to be fair. This Bane, like, what is that? Do you remember that? Do you remember in what was it? Was it Dark Knight Rises, I think? Bane comes out with a big B on his chest. Yeah, this iconic B that he used to wear on his chest. Yeah, that was sick. This is so fake. This is terrible, this one. This is terrible. Look at this. What is that? That's not right. Why is he... Man, some of these fakes are terrible. Now that's an interesting figure. The arm printing's really cool on him. I always thought. I've got... Okay, Mr. Incredible as well. And the hairpiece for this guy's really cool as well. I got that really well. I prefer it like this. They didn't have to... I think they made a big fig of him. I don't get that. I think it looks like bulky and weird. It just doesn't fit the style. I think they've got to work on that. They've got to find another way of trying to create those things, trying to size them up. I remember really being into like spacemen in Lego for a while. Like I bought all the shuttle sets and stuff. I even got what the hell's happened there? I even got the Women in NASA set, which came with a couple of these figures you can see here. This one, there's a couple others in here. Here, she was in it. That was a really cool set actually, because the models and stuff in it had a little book, a little leaflet about it. This figure is so sick. I got it off St Dunkirk. It's a little souvenir. Bought it on eBay, and the detail on all of it, and the colours are completely right. I'm a massive fan of the film Dunkirk. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan stuff. In fact, I've actually got a Tenet poster on my wall. I know everyone hates that film for some reason, but it's one of my favourites. I think it makes my top 5, you know. I think if you watch it a second time, it's way better than the first time. I got these two as well. Overwatch, although Diva was my main when I used to play it. My Diva bomb used to be insane. I was never that good at any video games, but like that one, I could do pretty well in often. Pretty cool figures. Pretty sure have arm printing though, or at least sort of have like. She has white around here, I think. Does she? Maybe like half white, a bit like how you have on the Syndrome fig. I don't know. Some of the stuff in there is like pretty interesting. What is this? Like that's obviously something I've painted. I don't know what I've tried to paint it to be. You can see the skeleton beneath, and I've done something on it. Okay. Well, it doesn't really help at all. I never got Lego Indiana Jones. The sets weren't really out when I was growing up, and they were all real expensive as well. But I've just found this. Is that not Harrison Ford from Indiana Jones' face? Like, I know for a fact that I never got him. But I'm pretty sure that is, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I'll put this on him. That's a bit too big. That's not an Indiana Jones hat, but like, I don't know, do you see it? I think that is. I think that's Indiana Jones' head. I don't know why I have that. I don't know why the figures use it. I know that's not Han Solo because it doesn't have the stubble. Han Solo face. I remember we lost the Batcopter, which had one of the Batmans I showed earlier, on a test flight down the stairs for some reason. Not sure what the purpose of that was, but you know, it had to be done, I suppose. Pioneer in aerospace engineering. I don't need to talk about that. Some of the stuff in here is so old. Like, look at this. Like, that's got to be old. That's got to be real old. What have I got on me? What is that? Oh my god. I'm turning to Macbeth. Oh my god. Let's bring the big guns in, you know. Let's go have a look at the proper stuff. Right, Francis, right. Here we go. Right, look at this. This is where it's at. Like, this stuff is so pricey. I can tell you where I got every single one. You might see a bit of an anomaly in one figure. I don't know if I can point it out to you. But, you know, it looks a bit off. I don't understand this here. So, this helmet, as you see, is so sun damaged. I found it today. It's like the same colour as it looks kind of cool actually. But yeah, it's like the same colour as Obi-Wan's tunic. But the body isn't. The body's fine. In fact, the body is in the best condition out of all of them. I'm like 90% sure that is the body with it. So I must have taken that off at some point. Maybe lying in the sun and playing with it outside when I was younger. But these guys are so old. Like, I must have been like 6 when I got the set that had these guys in. I think there was 4 of them. One of them had a visor, and it was on like a little, I don't know what you call it, a little walker thing, I guess. This has got Commander Wolf's head. I don't have Commander Wolf. I got this from a friend's brother who was moving out, and he was like, you can have some of the stuff in this Lego box. Ah, sick. Search through it. And that is where I also got these 2 Captain Rexes. I don't think the torsos or the arms are right, but I only remember getting the helmets. But like, that's crazy. But they're really withering now. And they're very old. Commander Gree's pretty cool. The pilot, I don't like this figure. I don't like these like Phase 1 clones. These are fake anyway, but these 4 are fake. I think everything else is real. Well, maybe not actually. That's not real. That's definitely not real. That's definitely real. I don't think that's real. That's definitely, I don't even know what that's meant to be. Who is that? The rest, I'm pretty sure, are real. Here he is, big gun. Look at that. I mean, I drew all over him, as you can see, but there he is. What is that? It's more of drawn on. Why did I do that? Yeah, this figure's sick, but you know what he needs? He needs a black and red fin piece on the top, and then an orange splash of paint down there. That would really top this figure off. Why? Like, why? What was wrong with me? Well, at least he didn't get burned like the other one. Fall victim to that. You see a lot of 501st. I went kind of crazy when they started releasing those sets. That was like right at the tail end. I was like, you know, I think I must have been 17, I think. And they released these sets, and I was like, should I buy them? Getting old to be buying Lego. And then I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll bite the bullet. I bought the battle pack, and I bought the thing with the jet troopers in, these two. And then one of my mates bought me another battle pack, which is why I have so many for my birthday. And I was like, okay, sick. And right at the end, you have this fake, this Captain Rex fake is Phase 2. I mean, like, I got this before they released the Phase 2 Captain Rex figure that was in the like the mini pod things, you know, just had the one figure in it, and you could get it for like £9 or whatever. So it's a bit of a waste now, but at the time, I thought it was sick. We'd use it for stop motions and stuff. You know. Everything's falling apart. This is another thing. Like, why? I mean, that's not even good. That's all of it. That's not even like a pattern. Well, there's one stripe of silver there, and that's silver. It's just bizarre to me. What was that? What could possibly be the goal behind that? I love this helmet. This helmet is so sick. Like, it's just something about it. I think it reminds me of the old stop motions I used to watch. I used to think this was a stormtrooper for some reason. No, it's a clone trooper. I just think that's so cool. That's one of my favourite helmet designs they have. I think that about wraps up. I've got so much more Star Wars Lego, but I can't be bothered to get it all out because there's so much of it. So, I guess that's it. That's it for my Lego today. The big old age I am, still playing with toys. Yeah. Alright, bye.